right, so I wanted to do a quick little video recapping or revisiting the really quick little conversation I had with you about him barking when he comes out in the lobby. Oh my gosh. So his barking, a big part of that is breed. Every time I get a schnauzer in or I meet a schnauzer, the biggest thing with them is that they're very vocal. So we are fighting a lot of genetics here, which makes his barking almost a reflexive behavior, where it's just a product of an emotion, right? So what your homework for the next couple of weeks is going to be is what I call tethering, or what is called tethering, where, essentially he is, oh my gosh, attached to you, not literally attached to you, but he has a leash on, and you, good boy, you have the ability to have a physical attachment to him. Wasabi, don't knock that over. These dang cats. I know that we originally talked about, go ahead, yes, the e-collar being a means to work through the barking, but I think right now he really needs a more personable approach from you. So I want it to be a personal thing where you're saying, hey, I don't like that. So when he's tethered, or when you have contact with him, and you guys are hanging out, and he starts to become vocal because he hears something outside, he hears somebody walking by, a car, whatever it is that elicits barking, or if you're not even at home, anytime he starts to get vocal, we're just going to say nope, and we're going to tap on that leash, and you're going to use that level, a level that is enough to change the behavior. I'm obviously not going to do it right now because he doesn't need it, but I want it to be not a drag, but a tap. So pressure and release quickly of the leash to kind of be like, hey, no, don't do that. And there should be no emotion from you. When he settles, then we can say, yes, give a treat. So you will probably also want to have some form of reinforcement readily available for majority of the time, as much as possible, right? So I want to be able to reward calm moments. I want to be able to paint the picture of this is an unwanted behavior versus this is the behavior that I prefer. But again, I want him to experience that from you, because his barking has been relatively superficial with me. Like, that's all I've really needed to do. And when we go into a new environment, he kind of gets a little bit, makes a sound, I just say, yes. And then when he softens his tone and maybe looks at me, then I mark and I pay. So I'm channeling that into something different and showing him that I don't like that he's barking, right? And there needs to be an element of consistency in it for him to understand that, like, we don't like that. And I want him to experience that personable approach from you right now to avoid any stress of him not knowing what the e-collar is doing. So I want there to be that physical, hey, I don't like that. It's very direct. He knows, oh, you are doing that, and it's happening when I bark. And then we'll layer in the e-collar later to fill in any blanks, like if he's not right there with you or he's not on a leash, but at least he's knowing what he is being corrected for. Miso, don't knock the thing over, sir. Good boy. Oh my gosh. I think that's going to be, that clarity is going to be better for him and help him make better choices and help him understand what the heck it is that you're asking, instead of just punishing the behavior with it being very indirect within the form of the e-collar and him being like, is this saying no to that? I don't know where it's coming from. I want to do this approach first, and again, we'll layer in the e-collar later. I think that's going to be very helpful for him. So it's a lot more work for you up front, and he's going to be hanging out with you a lot, and we'll go over how to balance that with like crate time and wait time, right? Because he has got the separation anxiety. So we have to balance things, right? He can't just be like all the time right here following you around, because then we're gonna strengthen that dependency. So I'll go over later, we'll do exercises where he's getting used to kind of existing on his own. But I think I want to start right here first, since the barking is kind of the thing that we notice more, probably because it's loud and we're self-conscious of it around other people and things like that. But like I said, he's very like not committed to the barking. If I say don't do that, he's like, all right, cool, whatever. And there's also some intricacies there, like some other nuances that he's like, okay, cool, I know that Miss Brittany is Not gonna put me in unfortunate situations, not that you do, but anyway, we'll go over all that when there's more time for conversation between us. All right, cool. Hopefully all that makes sense.